So maybe the liver protocol is working, and that's why the level is working, and that's why I feel a bit. Hello there, my name is Daisy, aka D, and welcome to D's Health Diaries. I'm a certified diet coach who was diagnosed with hypothyroidism over a year ago. And 2 weeks ago, I started taking steps to manage my hypothyroidism, and that included starting levothyroxine. I've done a video on my experience with levothyroxine so far, and now I want to share why I'm doing the liver support protocols by Dr. Isabella Wenz and how it's going. So to start with, Dr. Isabella Wenz was diagnosed with hypothyroidism over a decade ago, and she also had Hashimoto's. And she's a pharmacologist who worked with functional doctors and naturopaths to find a way to manage her hypothyroidism and put her Hashimoto's into remission. Over time, she's written books on the root cause of hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's and what people can do to manage their conditions and perhaps even also go into remission. In the 9 months before I started taking levothyroxine, I did a lot of research and I read all her books. They are available on her site and they're also available in other book selling sites. So I was particularly interested in the fundamentals protocols because that book takes you step by step on how you can optimize your thyroid health in a way that can help you maybe use less medication or even not need medication at all. In this case, I've only tried the liver support protocol, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Now, here's a short disclaimer. I can only share what she's shared in her free resources. I cannot get into much detail about why the protocols are the way they are and what she describes in each protocol, because if I do that, then I'll be infringing on the copyright. However, she has shared some free resources, and I've cross-checked with them to make sure that what I share aligns with what she shares with her audience freely, to make sure that I am safe and I also offer you value. What's the liver healing protocol? So it's based on the fundamental understanding that most of T4 conversion takes place in the liver. For example, I am taking levothyroxine, and that's a T4 hormone. My body cannot use a T4 hormone as it is. It needs the hormone to be converted into T3. Naturally, even when your thyroid gland produces a T4 hormone, it has to be converted in the liver. That's where like 60% of it gets converted into the liver, into T3, and then 20% gets converted in the gut as T3 to T3, and then 20% ends up as reverse T3, which your body cannot use. So given that 60% of the T4 conversion takes place in the liver, it makes sense that if your liver is more efficient, then you can get more use out of your medication instead of requiring a higher dose. So that's what that's what the liver protocols is all about. It's all about optimizing your liver health. So for that reason, let me walk you through what I've been doing and how it works. Part of dealing with hypothyroidism requires you to have notebooks all the time. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking down at my notebook, which tells me exactly what I did, because I can forget. Yes. So the liver protocol starts with an overall assessment where you look at your symptoms. It's on a rating, like you have so many symptoms to choose from, and you look at how many of them you can relate to. In my case, I had issues like apathy, I had bloating, I had constipation, I had fatigue, I had poor concentration, poor memory. These are some of the symptoms that you'll mostly face with hypothyroidism. And when you do the liver assessment, it tells you whether your liver is dealing with moderate toxicity or it's extreme or it's mild. In my case, it was moderate. So the protocols include, first, there are some things that you have to get rid of. That's an elimination diet. And what you have to say goodbye to is gluten, dairy, sugar, soy, caffeine, and alcohol. And you have to look into alternatives. I was a serious coffee and tea drinker, but I had to adjust. So alternatives include things like green smoothies. You can also take cocoa. You can just take plain water. You have hot lemon water, maca lattes, turmeric tea. They're just more gentle alternatives to taking caffeine, because caffeine is a stimulant, and then you also don't want alcohol in your system. There are things that you just don't want to have. And the reason that many people eliminate gluten and dairy is because they are very reactive or sensitive to it. And that's usually the case, especially with Hashimoto's patients, because I think I read somewhere that 90% of Hashimoto's patients have a sensitivity to gluten. I got tested for gluten sensitivity and it wasn't as high, but the best way to test whether you're sensitive to a certain food is to eliminate it, because if you do and then you reintroduce it and you react to it, then you are sensitive. But lab tests may not always show that you're sensitive, even if you might be, or they might show that you're sensitive and you're not. There are many studies on that. So now you've eliminated foods. What's the second step? You add supportive foods. These are things like your green smoothies, your cruciferous vegetables, your green juices, your fermented foods. I actually made sauerkraut for the first time, and for some reason I like it. I think it's because I know it's rich in probiotics, but maybe I like the taste. I'm not sure. Yes, and fruits like berries. So there's some good to it. And now the third one is to reduce toxic exposure. I'll be honest, I haven't really done this because greening your kitchen, water and the air, and detoxing personal care products. I mean, I'm wearing makeup. Yeah, it's a step, but I skipped that one. So like we have number 4 is the most important one, which is where you support your detox pathways and your, I don't know if you have this, if you have hypothyroidism, but there's this part where you don't really sweat. So you're supposed to try and sweat more. I've tried that with exercise. I'm still not sweating. It's a good thing because you use less deodorant, but it's a bad thing because, yeah, you're not really eliminating as many toxins as your sweating counterparts. And then you also add liver support supplements, which is what I'm going to walk you through right now because this is where I really concentrate. So I take my levothyroxine every day at 6 in the morning. That's without fail. And because levothyroxine can interact with other medicines and supplements, I make sure that I have at least a 4 to 5 hour window before I even eat anything. At 6 a.m. I take my levo and then I wait up to like 10 or 11 before I eat or even before I look at any supplements. Yes. And then I also did my own protein mix for a smoothie where I crushed sunflower seeds and chia seeds and flax seeds and pumpkin seeds. It's really high fat and high protein. If you follow me on Instagram, I have that recipe there. It's really nice to start your morning like that. Yes, I'm plugging myself. And then I have the herbal drink, which has liver supporting elements like milk, thistle, and dandelion. I actually like that drink, and it's kind of better than coffee because if I skip it, I don't really get headaches. So yeah. And then I take compounded vitamin B, compounded B vitamins, yes. Those I take with food every day. And I also take NAC, which is N, yeah, I have to look for the actual name because, yeah, yes. And, wow. And acetylcysteine. The recommended dose is like 1800 milligrams a day, but yeah, I take, oh yeah, I should be telling you how much I take. I take 1000 milligrams of that. That's supposed to be really effective in helping your liver be more effective. And then I take magnesium citrate. The recommended dose was 400 milligrams, but this was my first time on it. And I know that taking this supplement can cause the runs. So as much as you don't want to be constipated, you also don't want to go to the other side. So I take 266 milligrams. I take the first 133 milligrams at 7, and I'm taking my NAC. And I take the other one at 9 p.m. just before I sleep because it's supposed to help me sleep better. And magnesium is also really important when you're doing a liver support protocol because once your liver really starts eliminating those toxins, you'll need all the magnesium you can get because otherwise you'll end up with headaches and fatigue and you'll just be feeling worse instead of better. So how have I felt on this protocol? I think it's clear that I have a bit more energy. So yes, I have felt a bit more energetic, but that could also be because of the level, but because this support protocol is supposed to help the level work better. So maybe the liver protocol is working, and that's why the liver is working, and that's why I feel a bit more energetic, or maybe it's because the camera is on. I don't know, but I feel more energetic and I am sleeping better. I actually take like 20 minutes to sleep, and then I sleep through the night up to like 6 a.m. when I get up to check my level, and then I go back to bed and I sleep again up to like 10. So that's been nice. Do I still have difficulty concentrating and brain fog and fatigue? Yeah, I had the brain fog and the difficulty concentrating. The fatigue is getting a bit less, which is a good thing. Yeah, because it means I can do things like this, like fail myself on a random Friday. Yes. Yeah, I am not as tired as before. I'm still tired, but not as before. And I feel like mentally I'm a bit better. And I haven't really missed the gluten or dairy or something else. I'm not feeling inflamed. I don't know if you can relate to that feeling where you're not sick, but you feel inflamed. And if I feel it like in my lower body after I've had a meal, I feel like off, like I'm kind of feverish, but I'm not. I don't get that anymore. I don't know if it's because I eliminated those foods. I just feel a bit better. So comparing it to my expectations, honestly, my expectations are not that high. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it's worked out, and I would actually recommend it to someone because it's been gentle. It's not been such a huge deviation. I haven't had to do so many things that are different. Oh, I just have to remember to take my medications, and I'm just realizing that I forgot to take my B vitamins. But yeah, it's gentle and it's a very forgiving journey. So like my thoughts going forward, I'm starting my week 2 now. I'm excited. I'm about to start adding apple cider vinegar to my water in the morning for my level. I feel hopeful because I know if I'll finish this and I'll start the gut protocol, and I'll share how I feel about the gut protocol too. Oh no, I'm actually going to start the adrenals protocol first, and then I'll do the gut protocol. So I'm feeling better. I've enjoyed this healing journey. It's only been 2 weeks, but I feel great. So now that said, if you're also starting a healing journey and you have concerns about your weight and you'd like to work with someone who can help you manage your weight better, I, D, a certified diet coach, I'm here to help you. Yes, plugging myself again. And I run a program called Better in 90. Find a sustainable way to manage your weight through making small and practical changes in your life that align with your lifestyle and your needs. So if this sounds like something that you would love to do, I am here for you, and I will shamelessly plug my link below so that you can connect with me. Yes. And as I finish, I would like to add something that I feel that many people with Hashimoto's or hypothyroidism or any thyroid disorder or any illness need to hear, that healing is not linear. And some days you'll feel really good, and some days you'll be as energetic as I am right now. And I know compared to a normal person, this is not really that much energy, but to me it's a lot. It's really a lot. And some days you'll be very energetic, and some days you won't be energetic, and some days you will not even know what you're feeling. But that's part of healing, and you can just hang in there. I would like to know if you have ever tried a liver support protocol and what you felt, and if you've ever tried any of Dr. Isabel Wentz protocols, and maybe there's something I need to know before I try the adrenals or gut protocols. I would love to hear your thoughts and your experiences, and I will definitely be back with a week 2 update before I start my adrenals protocol. And yes, I am feeling better. I can say that after a week. It might be the placebo effect, but maybe my liver is working better because I was not sweating. There was nowhere else for the toxins to go. And now yeah, I think I've told you where they're going now. Yeah, so thank you for sticking around. If you enjoyed this, I would love it if you subscribed because I would love to connect with you as I continue with this healing journey. Thank you so much.